Okay guys, I have another knife review for you today. Something a little different, going to a fixed blade. This is a Cold Steel Double Agent 2. This is a relatively cheap fixed blade. You'll find this in the price range between, I'd say, $25 and $35. On average, I see them, a little over 30, but I have seen them as low as 25. Like I said, this is a fixed blade knife. When you get this knife, they do give you a ball and chain necklace for it. Honestly, I think this is it's just too big. Let me move my camera up for you here. You see it in my hand here. It's just too big for a neck knife. I mean, that's just my opinion. However, it's nice they throw it in there. Gives you options, and hey, you can always use this for something else, one of the other knives if you wanted to. But I did want to note that it is included with the knife when you get it new. Like I said, this is a Cold Steel Double Agent 2. There's two different versions of this knife. This is the Double Agent 2, however, there's also a Double Agent 1. Big difference with the Double Agent 2 and 1 is just the blade style. The 2 is the clip point blade, which I'm reviewing now, and the regular Double Agent 1 has a karambit style blade where the blade hooks in this way, just like a hawkbill. This knife was designed by a guy named Zach Whitson, and he wanted a lightweight, heavy use knife. Primarily for self-defense, but it can double as a good work knife. And the big design feature here is having the double finger holes here. Let me move my camera up again for you. Let's see. So how you would grip this knife, just like this. Your pointer finger and your pinky are in these holes here. Gives you an extremely secure grip. There is no way, no matter how hard you're using this knife, there's no way your hand's going to go anywhere. You don't have to worry about slipping up on the blade. Especially, more importantly, I should say, for like a tactical use where you're using this knife for self-defense. The last thing you want to do is drop your knife, okay, when you're using it to defend your life. So having that double ring like that really helps. Really secures your grip. There's no way this is coming out of your hands. So that's a really nice feature on the knife. It is a fairly thin stock here. And the blade itself, let me give you some specs. The blade material is an AUS 8A, which is, it's on, I'd say for the price range, it's definitely a great steel. It's a little bit on the lower end compared to some of the other steels, but again, price is going to affect that. And I think it's an excellent choice for the knife overall. You don't want to make it a real expensive knife. You don't need some kind of super steel for this. So I think that was a very good choice for this knife. The blade itself, the sharpened edge, is 3 inches long. The full length from the very acute tip all the way down to the very bottom of the knife is 7 7/8 inches long, and the weight is only 2.5 ounces. In the sheath, it's just over 3. It's about 3.2 on my scale. So that's very nice as well. Like I said, just sticking with the theme, nice and light, but you still get enough effective blade there and a perfectly secure grip. I like how they could have kept this just one solid piece of metal, but they decided to put this overlay here. Gives you a little something to grip on. I really like that. I really like that they put that on there. It does make it more comfortable. If it was just the bare metal, it would be a little bit on the thin side. However, by doing that, they didn't thicken it up all that much. You can see the stock here compared to where they kind of put the handle on there. And it really makes, I mean, aesthetically, it makes it look nice. I like the way that looks, but it really helps with the feel of the knife. It's very comfortable, and I think without that, it wouldn't be comfortable at all. So I like how they threw that on there. This knife is made overseas. It's marked, you see Cold Steel there, and underneath it's marked Taiwan. I got my little jeweler's loop here. Show you that real quick. There's your markings. What I like too is they must have bead blasted or did like a satin finish on the whole slab once it was done, and then once they did the grinds, it's kind of a polished finish. So you can see the difference in finish there. It's kind of two-tone. You have kind of a dulled gray, okay, for the knife itself, all the way down to the handles. But where the grinds are, where they started the grind about mid-blade here and came down, like I said, they did a polish on that, which is really nice. Also, there's a swedge on the back here. Now, a swedge is where they grind it down, but it's not sharpened. Okay, it is completely legal. I mean, in most states, as long as you don't have a blade limitation. But I know a lot of guys who, especially in a knife where you have a sheath blade, where you don't have to worry about cutting yourself, unlike a folder. A lot of guys, if you are going to use this and carry this for a self-defense type knife, a lot of times you'll sharpen that up. I don't see why not. I mean, it would make the blade even more effective than it is right now. Especially this style clip point where, let's say you're doing a draw cut like that, or a slash, and then you can just come right back and you have that hooked blade. I mean, it's just a nasty design. You don't want to be on the other end of that. So you do have that option there. Very easily grind that down further and get a nice sharp edge on that. And with the design here, you have some jimping on the back here. You don't have to worry about where your hand's positioned. Even if you sharpen that swedge, you don't have to worry about your thumb slipping up on it. I mean, I have to kind of reach to get into this area here. My thumb just naturally rests right here, exactly where the jimping is. The jimping itself it's okay. I mean, it's a little bit on the smooth side, even though there are kind of deep cuts in there, but it does its job. It's not going to move too much once you're gripping down. So yeah, overall, I really like this knife. It's definitely a cool design. It is lightweight. I don't know if I'm going to carry this specifically, but if I did, it would be a backup knife. I probably wouldn't use this for like an EDC, only because I have just different options. But this would seriously make a great backup self-defense knife that you would just keep nice and sharp right out of the box. And Cold Steel always does a really good job on their factory edges. I mean, they always come nice and sharp. Actually, I'll do it at the end of the video. I have some cutting tests for you. I know you guys have been missing those. But anyway, I really like it. What's cool about this, I didn't really talk about this yet, is the sheath. Now the sheath is a very innovative design. You can see here you have a large cutout here and kind of like a button. And this is how you put the knife back into the sheath. What actually keeps this knife secured in the sheath is this, like I said, it's kind of like a button. It's a round cutout, okay? And you see there it flexes. And when the knife's in the sheath, I mean, it's extremely sturdy. There's no wobble, there's no play. It's not coming out. It's very, very strong. And then you just push down on that. And what's happening is that the actual button itself, or piece here, is just kind of locking into this first finger hole. It's just kind of setting in place there, so you can't pull it out, just like that. Okay, imagine the tip of my finger being the button, just kind of rests up there, and you can't pull it out. I really like this. However, it's a little bit of a drawback. In putting the knife back in the sheath, I have to be careful to go over the button, not to go under the button. Obviously, you don't want to cut it or bend it the wrong way. So what I kind of have to do is put the tip of the knife in, and I have to push down. Okay, I can't just jam it in because that happens. It happens a lot to me. When I first got the knife, I kept doing this, and I was afraid I was going to just break it, to be honest. But so far, I mean, long term, hopefully this will stand up. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to use this a whole lot, so I don't know long term if it's going to be an issue, that design. I do like how it's innovative like that, and it is a really good lock. Very easy to use, just push down to move it out of the way to pull your blade out. Like I said, I really like it, but I don't know about the longevity of it. I don't know how that's going to last. It's a little bit on the flimsy side, and if you hyperextended that and pushed it too much, I mean, it might snap off. So honestly, I would probably give that kind of like a maybe. Maybe good, maybe not so good. I don't know. Like I said, time will tell. So if you get one of these or if you have one of these and you have been using it, please post a comment down below and let me know how this is working out for you long term. But in the immediate future, I like it. It works for me. It's like I said, it serves its purpose, and once you get used to it, it's not too hard to put the blade back in. So I do like that. I like how a lot of Cold Steel knives, they give you plenty of different attachment points here. You see there's 8 different holes on the sheath. You can do different combinations to attach this to yourself. And again, with the ball and chain necklace they give you, you have some different things you could do as far as carry options. So I like that a lot. So that is the Cold Steel Double Agent 2. And now we'll do some cutting demos. I know you guys have been asking me, where's all the cutting demos? Well, I don't know. I guess when I'm doing reviews, I kind of forgot, but I'll make it up for you in this video. Actually, before I do that, one thing I remembered I want to mention. There is a slit here on the bottom, and that's for attaching a lanyard. Now, they kind of squared off this bottom here. Now, what I kind of wish they did is, you can see it's just, let me get the jewelers a little bit out again. You can see it's just a flat, we'll get that in focus, just flat metal. I kind of wish that they taper this. I wish they taper this down a little bit on both sides to make that a little skinnier, so it can double as a screwdriver. Because it would be a great, obviously in the sheath, it would make a great little flathead screwdriver that you can use. But unfortunately, it's just it's a little fat to use that like this. So if I can alter the knife one way, that's something I would do. I would just taper that a little bit, just so I can double as a screwdriver, but not a huge deal. Another thing I want to point out real quick too is on the sheath itself, there's a little slit on top, and that is for, if you get water in your sheath, it'll drain out properly. Really nice option. Just very minute detail. I didn't even notice it right away, but I like that. I can't see why different companies make their Kydex and in this case Securex sheaths, all your molded sheaths. I don't know why some companies don't do that. It's just a simple little thing. It's good. Obviously, if you get this filled up with water, you want it to have some way to drain. So anyway, I like that. So now on to some cutting tests. A little piece of paper here. Let me move my camera up again. Let's see how this cuts. And this is right out of the box. I did not cut anything with this since I got it. I wanted to keep it nice and looking cool for the for the review here. So here's the factory edge. Nice and sharp. Like I said, Cold Steel always does a good job on their factory edges. Oops. So I would say definitely sharp enough. You could touch this up if you wanted to, but they do come very sharp. I'll go one further here and give you something more exciting to watch. I still have a piece of that seatbelt left, so I see all the oil on here. So let's do a seatbelt cutting test here. Almost all the way through. Not too much pressure either to cut that. That's just because you have the 3-inch blade. Let me do that again for you. As I'm coming through, it's slicing, but I mean, you have a heavy curve here. By the way, this would probably make a really good skinning knife. So you have so much curve towards the tip and a very fine tip. So when doing something like this, cutting webbing or a thick belt like this, just in coming in naturally, it's going to kind of skip and probably not cut all the way through. But you see there again, no problem there. Not much effort, but you do need a second pass to kind of top that off. And I have one last cutting test here. I have some military surplus belt. I actually got this with a lantern, or excuse me, not a lantern, a canteen. And this belt was just too small. There's no time I'm ever going to use it, so I figure I'll keep it for cutting tests. So let me move this out of the way here and see how this cuts this military belt. And actually, that time it cut all the way through. So very nice. And like I said, Cold Steel does an excellent job on their factory edges, as you see there. Slicing paper caught up a little bit, not too bad. If I were to, to carry this, I'd probably just touch it up just a little tiny bit, just to clean up the edge a little. But they do come very sharp. So that again is the Cold Steel Double Agent 2. If you like the knife, but you want something a little different, do check out the first one. The Double Agent 1 has that karambit style blade or hawkbill, which might be your choice. Anyway, I really like the knife. I think it's cool. I think it's a very useful knife. And again, just affordable. You can't beat affordable. So there's my review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I thank you for tuning in and watching it. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.